Wausau Dance Academy, Joe Toffrey here, Train for Your Best, owner and body coach. Super excited about a partnership with the Wausau Dance Academy here, and hopefully we can help you every month, send out a webcast to help educate you. First of all, congratulations on another great school year. Congratulations on what I hear was a great weekend of dance, and hopefully we can have a great summer here as we move forward. So each month, we're going to deliver another webcast. Today is going to be on rest. I think it's an important one as we prepare for the summer. We can get you ready and get you excited about making sure we capitalize on everything. So rest can be divided into two things, recovery and sleep. The reason it's important because it makes up 25% of how we perform. So how much we sleep, how much we recover can make up 25%. So when you're dancing, 25% of how you do is based on how well you rest and recover. So what does it affect? Well, it affects our memory. It's our ability to remember routines, our ability to concentrate and focus when we're out there on the floor, our ability to, it can change our mood. So if you're kind of getting moody a lot, waking up kind of irritated, getting irritated about little things, maybe you're not resting enough, that's a big one. Immunity, so our ability to fight off diseases, colds and flus. If you're starting to get sick a lot, check your rest patterns. Blood pressure, and then balance and strength. So balance and strength meaning, hey, that's a big one because that requires a lot in dance and our endurance as well. So what happens when we do rest? So if we do get the time to rest, what awesome things happen to the body? Well, our muscles, that's when they repair themselves. So when you're dancing, we get these little micro tears in our muscles. And if we don't have the rest time and the recovery time and sleep time, that can certainly be, we don't get the same repair to get better for the next dance move or the next routine. That's when our bones grow. So as you're growing here, junior high, moving your way up, high school, elementary school, your bones are always growing. They're getting stronger to make sure we can withstand the vigors of our routines. This is when our organs cleanse as well. So our liver and kidneys and brains, they recover, they get new nutrients in them, they get their time to rest. Not only just does our body need rest, but everything inside of our body needs rest. Hormone development. So all these great hormones that we need, make sure they develop when we're resting. They really have a hard time developing when they're trying to use this energy. So we want to make sure we rest. And then most importantly, I think our nervous system development. So that's how we remember things. That's how we actually move in space. That's how we perform, is based on that central nervous system. And that's when that really develops a lot, is during rest and recovery. So in sleep. So when we break down recovery versus sleep, I want to talk about some strategies and things that can maybe help you. First of all, from a recovery standpoint, meaning just a little time off, would be quantity. I think the NCAA thinks, the NBA thinks, any college sport thinks that 1 day off recovery week is very important. So you want to really try to plan right here a day off every week, if possible, of 24 hours to let that body recover so we can take advantage of these things. So at every level, I think that's huge. I also think that every year you should try to find 2 weeks throughout this summer or winter or whatever it may be to take kind of maybe in between seasons or whatever, just take 5, 6, 7, 8 days to let your body just kind of unwind and cool down, not only just for your body, but your brain. So, maybe it's, if you start in January, maybe it's April or May, and then maybe it's June or July that you take another little break. But I think taking that is important. The consistency of recovery. So you can't just go, well, I'm going to go hard 60 days and take 5 days off. It doesn't really work that way. We need to find consistent little kind of gaps. If you can find it at the same time every week, I think that's huge to help the recovery process. Eating and sleeping, or eating and hydration is big in those too. We put those at the bottom here. Making sure you're getting your protein in your diet. Make sure you're eating before and after. We'll talk more about nutrition throughout these podcasts, or webcasts. But I think that's huge. Some more strategies. Get up and get moving right away. Your body actually likes active recovery, and I put that on here that that's why we can help you if you're looking for something that you don't know what to do. We can come up with a recovery program for you. Most dancers that I've seen, dance requires so many different movement patterns, so many great movement patterns and strength and stability, but there's also things that dance doesn't hit. And so maybe that's the time to do some other things. And I put that in here, do something different than what dance requires. So dance requires a lot of external rotation. Maybe we can work on our internal rotation. Dance requires a lot of plantar flexion of our foot. Maybe we can work on a little more dorsiflexion of our foot. So doing that can help realign, refresh the body to perform better with that. So as we move on to sleep now, sleep is a very important one. I think this is the biggest one that athletes miss out the most. If I was to choose one of our pillars, and we're talking about our pillars throughout this term too, that athletes don't capitalize on the most, it's definitely sleep. And every one of my pro athletes now, of our 10 NFL guys that we see every month, what's interesting is they all have sleep doctors now. They actually pay to go see a sleep doctor to give them, to evaluate them, to see how they're doing, to see how much they should sleep, individualized, and see how they're sleeping during and REM and all these different types of things. So I go and I've asked them 1,000 times, what about kids? How much should sleep? And I get a range between 8.5, 9.5. 8's not enough. 7.5's not enough. 8.5's the bare minimum. Now, if you ask yourself, to be honest with you, are you getting 8.5 every night? I bet you 99 out of 100 of you probably aren't. And so we need to make sure that we're getting that 8.5 to 9 hours. You have to plan for that. Oh, I don't have time. That's not a good enough excuse. And you don't really want to be that good, is what I tell people, to be honest. So we want to make sure we capitalize on it. Plan it. Hey, I got to get in bed by 9 o'clock. I got to get, if you have to get up at 6 for school, then guess what? You're going to have to try to find 8:30 is going to have to try to find your bedtime. I know dance can run late. I know things can happen, but do your best to plan, okay? Plan to capitalize on your performance. Consistency. Go to bed at the same time every night, get up at the same time every morning. That's a big deal. That's a big one that all these sleep doctors are talking about, the studies are talking about, is you can't make up sleep. So you can't go, well, I'm going to sleep 2 hours a night for a month, and then I'm going to sleep for 4 days. It doesn't work that way. What we have to be able to do is get up and go to bed at the same time. This is one thing I have done good at. So my bedtime is around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I get up at about 5:30 every day. I don't even need to set an alarm. About 4:45, I just wake up. I'm ready to roll from that. So consistency, make sure I plan for that. There's obviously exceptions to every rule. So make sure that you just do your best to make that happen. Some strategies from a sleep standpoint: create a bedtime and morning routine. That's huge. So when I go to bed every night, what I do is I try to read a good quote. I try to remember what I did that day that was positive, so I can go to bed with positive thought. And then actually write down at the bottom, I write down my goals for tomorrow. What do I got to get accomplished? Otherwise, my brain just kind of gets absorbed, and next thing you know, I've been thinking for an hour. So I write them down. I leave them by the side of my bed. Then I know when I get up in the morning, I got to accomplish those things. I'm ready to lock and load. Maybe a morning routine might be, don't grab your phone right away when you get up. Get up. Don't hit the snooze button 1,000 times. Get up, jump in the shower, brush your teeth, get some breakfast. Read 5 pages in a book, or watch some film on dance, or learn something, and then boom, you're ready to start your day. But get into a habit of that as much as you can. Limit napping. That's a big study thing lately. People that sleep too much or nap too much don't do as well. I don't like napping much. Some people do, but I think it takes a while for the body to. If I nap at 2 and I 2 to 3, and then I have something at 4, no way your body's ready to perform. There's a reason why most of our performances in any sport are in the evening, right? Or at least midday. And that's because it takes a while for our body to adapt, and that's where we're going to get the best performance. It'd be interesting if routine started at 4:30 in the morning. We probably wouldn't look very good. So there's a reason why it takes a while to get going in the morning. Cell phone, there's blue lights in cell phones. That's another big research. Blue lights keep you up, and we want to try to limit that. So 60 minutes before you go to bed, try to stay off your computers, try to stay off your phone as much as you can. Limit caffeine and sugar. Those things will keep your heart rate up, and they won't allow you to kind of let your brain rest. And then foods that can help you be honey, kiwis, oats, bananas, almonds, melatonin, things that can make sure that you try to get as much sleep as possible. Those are good foods. And like I said, get up right away. Try not to use your phone in the morning. Try not to use it at night. I know things come up and happen. So rest and recovery and sleep, huge things. Take advantage of them. It's 25% piece of your performance pie. Let's make sure we capitalize on it. Let's have a good month. Let's start the summer strong. Reach out to me with any questions or anything. But overall, I'm just super excited to be a part of this group now for the long haul. I've worked with a lot of you before, and hopefully work with you again. But we're here for a resource. We'd love to help you any way we can. And have a great week and a great start to the summer.